Hey everybody, Lord Josh here once again. One aspect of Feng Shui that we haven't yet covered on this channel is color, and how color can physically and emotionally influence the human body and mind. Color has an energetic influence not just on people, but on an environment such as a bedroom, a meditation room, or an altar space. Colors work by affecting the energy field of the individual, causing a measurable change in their organs, blood pressure, temperature, and healing. So much so that colors are often used to treat illnesses, both mental and physical. Within Feng Shui, color relates to the Chinese five-element system of wood, fire, metal, earth, and water. This system is known as Wu Xing. The aim is to balance, counteract, or induce beneficial qi to the person, to bring harmony or stability to their situation. Most ancient Taoists would be trained in what is known as color curing or color therapy. People would seek to find cures to illnesses. Although the methods of color curing differ greatly, Feng Shui masters usually begin by meditating on a specific spectrum of visible light. By using vivid visualization, the master imagines an emotion or a feeling that is strongly related to that one color. So let's say, for example, blue. Blue is pretty much universally viewed as a cooling, calming, passive color. So the master will think of this as he directs energy into his patient or into his own body, carefully visualizing the organs, the internal tissues, imagining the color healing and changing the body on a small molecular level. Taoists believe that the body itself emits light, so it's only natural that every once in a while our light becomes dim due to illness. I will say, be very careful with anyone who claims to be able to read your coloring or your energy field. Only very few are born with this gift. I personally do not have the gift, but instead I use my knowledge and experience when using color curing on myself or others. There exists the four intensities of color: light, medium light, bright, and very bright. These intensities show the different levels and ranges of color: soft color range and intense color range. The softer the color, the more gentle it is to the body and mind. If an individual is frail, it is wise not to overwhelm them with very bright colors. Medium light colors are known to be safe and relatively low risk, which is why they are mainly used to affect the energy in the very young or the very old. Bright and very bright colors are extremely powerful and fast-acting. Once they are applied to the body or to the person, they work immediately in changing the energy of their body. Using very bright colors are akin to drinking an extremely sugary energy drink or drinking several cups of coffee within a short space of time. Bright colors are stimulating. This can be dangerous to some people, so most Taoist masters will begin by starting with a softer color, and gradually they will work up to the intense range. It's like starting a new medication. Start off on a small dose first to see how your body will react, then increase it if everything is okay. So let's go through each color and see how it can be used. Let's start off with the color red, definitely one of my favorites. I wear a lot of red on a daily basis. Red has the longest wavelength of the visible colors. Within the Taoist system, it is strongly related to the material and the physical. Of the Wu Xing elements, it corresponds to fire, and in terms of organs, it relates to the heart. It is extremely emotionally intense, and it's a very strong color to use on the body as it heats and activates the cells. It's very stimulating. Feng Shui masters are not allowed to use strong red in people who have hypertension, because red can cause high blood pressure and an increase in heart rate. Funny enough, I wear a lot of red, and every time my blood pressure is taken, it's slightly high. Not dangerously high, but it's still higher than it should be. Red is associated with power, passion, desire, determination, danger, hate, and love. If you see someone who has problems sleeping too much, or if you are someone who has a lack of motivation and energy, use red to empower yourself, but start off with light red first so you don't shock your system. Light red has a few different associations, such as joy, sexuality, and sensitivity. It's a lot more gentle. Dark red is related to rage, anger, wrath, courage, and leadership. Using dark red can make people have very angry outbursts, so be careful with that one. Red is known to improve the circulation of blood throughout the body. It also has a tendency to increase a person's metabolism, so great if you want to lose some weight. It also repairs tissues, fixes wounds both internal and external, and overall red is a great color to use for ritual magic because it's very commanding and assertive. In other words, it's very yang. If you're a weather magician, the color red is used to summon a healthy southeastern wind during the summer. The color pink is often used when bright red is deemed too powerful for some people to tolerate. Pink, not surprisingly, relates to romance, love, femininity, and all things passive and yin. It's very yin. It is often used to sedate, relax, and calm down aggression, but on the flip side of that, if you overuse it, it can actually cause emotional issues. Remember, all colors can be used and abused. It's up to you to safely experiment with what you find to be beneficial. Orange. We like orange around here in Lamatland, don't we? I love it. Orange is a great color. It's known to combine the chi of fire, which is red, and the chi of earth, which is yellow. Pure orange has a lot of good qualities to it. Happiness, creativity, inspiration, life, zest, and encouragement. In terms of healing, orange can help with blood clots, healing cysts, and it helps provide more oxygen-rich blood to the brain. Mentally, it can make a person more creative and productive. Now, on the flip side to that, a reddish orange has a lot of negative traits to it. It evokes feelings of violence and domination. A darker shade of orange can evoke deceit, lies, falsehoods, and untruth. Pay very close attention to TV commercials and political campaigns when dark orange is used. Knowing the power of color will put you at an advantage. It just shows you how different intensities of the exact same color can totally transform its effect on the mind and body. When people make blanket statements like orange is great and yellow is bad, just an example, question them a little more and say what tones, what shades do you mean? Occultists need to learn how to be more specific because the slightest change can make a huge difference. The devil is in the details. Yellow tones of orange are known to stimulate the stomach and spleen, so it's great for people with Crohn's disease or IBS because it targets the digestive system. The Feng Shui master must be careful when using orange as it is incredibly potent. Long-term use could cause harm. Everything in moderation, that's the Taoist rule. Yellow. It's a color that is associated with the earth element within Wu Xing, and it's also a color that has a lot of relation to Chinese royalty, so think of the Yellow Emperor. Golden yellow evokes the qualities of prestige, nobility, wealth, glory, and godhood. It is said that the gold is the color of the gods. Now, I adore gold. I absolutely love it. I wear a lot of it myself. But the slight negative here with golden yellow, using it can evoke feelings of arrogance and haughtiness, I guess you could say. So just be careful with that. Pure yellow is great for awakening the spirit within you. It's like food for the soul. Yellow works closely with thoughts and visions. It evokes feelings of warmness, cheerfulness, and optimism. Great for when you're feeling down and depressed. Light yellow is very beneficial for vigor, but dull, dark yellow is absolutely awful. It's dreadful. I can't stress enough of how much you should avoid dull yellow like the plague. It corresponds to all things like sickness, decay, filth, and I think even jealousy. Pure yellow is also used for helping skin disorders such as rashes and acne. Whenever I think of pure yellow, I imagine summertime, flowers, and yang qi. When practicing weather magic, yellow is used for stopping and clearing storm clouds, allowing the yellow sun to shine through. Green, the color of nature. It is also the color that corresponds to wood within Wu Xing and the liver. It is considered to be the ultimate healer out of all of the colors as it helps get rid of bad qi within the body. Associations are growth, health, well-being, and fertility. Pure green is great for helping improve vision. It is often used by Taoist Feng Shui masters to improve eyesight in middle-aged or elderly people. Pure green is known as the color of benevolence, compassion, a very motherly color. It's nurturing and peaceful, used to help with anxiety, stress, and panic. It works by soothing the nerves. It's a subtle color, it's very gentle, so the risk of harming oneself with excess green is unlikely. Combined with orange, green has the ability to shrink tumors. Dark green relates to money, greed, financial success, and ambition. Great for opportunistic and ruthless businessmen who want to get ahead of the game. I'll give you a tip here from Lord Josh. Try wearing a dark green tie to your next corporate meeting and see the massive difference. You may end up making more money. Yellow-green is sickly, full of jealousy, and can often evoke feelings of being scared for no reason. That's where the saying, yellow belly coward, comes from. Are you feeling blue? Well, let's find out. Blue within Feng Shui is associated with depth, calmness, trust, wisdom, intelligence, consciousness, and heaven. Intellect, you see. That might explain why Zhuge Liang, the brilliant genius of the Three Kingdoms, is often depicted wearing a blue Kongming hat, and that's also the reason why I like to wear one. Blue is known to slow down the metabolism. Dark blue is related to seriousness, expertise, and professionalism. A great color to use for business, just like dark green. Let's say, for example, if you went in for a job interview and you wanted to be taken seriously, I would recommend that you wear a nice dark blue suit with a dark green tie. Then you will certainly get the job. Light blue is related to healing, softness, understanding, and cooling. It cools the body and mind, helps reduce and cure fever, helps with inflammation and insomnia, and it can also be used to help stimulate the urinary bladder and kidneys, skeleton, throat, and thyroid gland. Light blue is one of those colors that's a bit of a wonder color. It has many different beneficial qualities. The tranquility that blue evokes is brilliant for overcoming your fears. Since pure blue is known to help with intellect, you can light a blue candle, you can choose to meditate, and the chances are it might actually increase your intellectual prowess, perfect for any upcoming exam or test. Now, do you remember in my recent video on stopping snow via using a red silk bag? Well, you can do the opposite by using a blue silk bag that can help summon snowstorms and blizzards. The only downside to blue is it has a tendency to decrease one's appetite, which, depending on how you look at it, may be good or bad. I suppose this raises a really interesting point. With this information, are you cheating at life? Well, no, you're not. I don't think so anyway. Colors are tools. Once you know how to use the tools, you can stop being reactive and start being proactive. These Taoist Feng Shui teachings are there to empower the individual. Every day of your life, you are bombarded by advertisements, by billboards, commercials, buy this, buy that, vote for the blue party, vote for the red party. And a lot of the time, people just fall for it. They fall for the power of color because they aren't aware that color is a legitimate power to begin with. Because they are so busy consuming, conforming, and buying, whilst the slave masters are the ones influencing the masses, with things like color, knowledge is power, so take some of it for yourself. Indigo, associated with the kidneys and the element of water. Within Wu Xing, indigo or midnight blue can symbolize self-spiritual mastery, spirituality, mysticism, perception, and visions. It's a very magical color. It helps to increase thoughts and insight. Indigo is extremely fast-acting. As soon as the person is subjected to indigo, the effects will take place within seconds, whilst pure blue takes usually a little bit longer. Indigo is famous for its ability to rapidly open the third eye. More on that in a future video. It's great for concentration and introspection. Very useful when you want to go into a deep trance or flow or meditation. A lot of Taoists use indigo for very intense soul travel, to go further away from the physical body than what was thought to be possible. Indigo can affect certain secretion of glands within the brain, and I think that that can also relate to the dreams that you may experience. Overuse of indigo, however, can leave people feeling depressed, low, and negative, so always use it wisely. What do I mean when I say use a color? You can obviously wear it, or you could paint your walls with a certain color to evoke a feeling, or one of the best ways to do it, actually the quickest way, is through your diet, through the food that you actually eat. So let's say, for example, blueberries to evoke the healing qualities of the color blue, avocados relating to the color green, yellow for the egg yolks, etc., etc. You could go through a whole list of food, color code it, and that's one of the ways that you can practice Taoist Feng Shui color curing. Violet. The color violet has the highest vibration in the visible light spectrum. This makes it an extremely auspicious color. Violet contains the yang of red and the yin of blue. It represents the duality and the harmony of the universe. It is considered by most cultures to be divine. The color purple has a strong connection to royalty and royal bloodlines. It's a rather imperial, kingly kind of color. Purple helps more than any other color to activate the imagination, to evoke lucid dreaming, and the enhancement of psychic abilities in general. It also carries that sense of luxury and extravagance to it, which could increase your chances of being more wealthy. Pure purple corresponds to mystery and magic, ceremonial magic to be precise, and memories. Light purple is known to evoke feelings of nostalgia and romance. Now, I've never felt romantic wearing purple, and I wear purple a lot because I love the vibe that it gives off. This purple robe, for example, I adore it. All of that mystery and spirituality, I do feel some nostalgia. Not all the time, because I'm not the type of person who thinks about the past. I generally think about the present and the future. But when I wear purple, I find myself recalling decade-old memories, seemingly without any reason. If you are one of those magicians who likes to do workings based on repressed memories, then consider using purple. Purple is a great color to use if you want to treat illnesses of the mind, bad infections, and even epilepsy. It is always wise that you should consult your conventional doctor before you make any changes whatsoever to your health, and also consult your local Feng Shui practitioner, because he or she will usually come out to see you at your house to survey your house and its location and to take an actual look at the environment you're in. White. The color white is an interesting one. It's associated with the lungs and the element of metal within Wu Xing. I don't have a lot of white in my wardrobe. I really need to expand it. It's a collection of all colors and is therefore regarded as being mostly neutral. Its associations are purity, cleanliness, innocence, divine light, perfection, and serenity. White is a common color of Taoist robes, often paired with black to represent the Tai Chi. White has a strong protecting kind of aura to it. It will protect the individual from psychic attacks, demonic possession, and black magic. When someone was harassing me a couple years ago, I was being cursed from afar, and I used white for protection, and the curse failed. So it really does work well for spiritual self-defense. White also helps with lung conditions, and when paired with green, it can bring the individual total enlightenment and harmony within the Tao. Black. Black is the Taoist Weather Magician's best friend, as it helps the practitioner to summon dark stormy clouds. I've already explained black in detail in other videos for ritual magic, but how can it be used for Feng Shui? It relates to the element of water and the northern direction. If you have a house with a black front door and the door is facing north, this is actually very auspicious. If you've got a door that faces south or west, do not paint it black. This will be very inauspicious. Black represents what is known as the great void, the great mystery, the great unknown, the abyss, deep water. Black is fantastic to use for overcoming fear. You know what I hate? When people say that white is good and black is evil. This is totally false. I personally love the dark Kongming feathered fans over the white ones because they feel much more auspicious and lucky. Black is a superpower color when you use it properly. I haven't covered silver or brown yet, but rest assured I will get to those colors in a future video because there's a lot to go through with those. Before I conclude here tonight, I just want to say that the power of color is but a small piece to a gigantic Feng Shui puzzle. So the other little pieces would be the 4 celestial animals. Another piece will be wealth attraction, or weather magic, or star stepping, or the 9 star lords, or the dipper. So those are all little bits and pieces of the puzzle. When you put them all together, they work. On their own, they won't work so well, but together everything seems to gel. And that's what the power of color really is. You've got to pair it up with the other Taoist methods and techniques. So thanks for watching, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you soon.